Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, boys. Time to make some predictions likely to go wrong.
Write this down.
Statistically, we're the only show in America that actually has the guts, the stones, the stupidity to put statistics next to our predictions. It's Write That Down Wednesday here on Purple Daily. We're also going to get to a quarterback cesspool challenge, and sandwiched in between those things, some people probably heard this on O-Line Committee yesterday, but it was Hot Take Tuesday on O-Line Committee, and Jeremiah, who will join us for a bonus Purple Daily episode today, O-Line Committee crossover, he stumbled into a hot take that I want to bring to you guys after we get done with the predictions. But let's start at Quick Trip. Let's start the show the right way here, Judd.
Absolutely, positively, yes. You know, it might be a down season for the local football team, but it's never a down season when you stop at Quick Trip. Why? Because, I mean, heck, look at the options that you have here. The options are endless. You know, you're driving to work, you're like, I forgot a snack. Oh, no problem at all. Just stop at Quick Trip. You're driving to work, you're like, oh, I forgot lunch. What am I going to do? Well, you stop at Quick Trip. You take care of that. Anything that you might need. I mean, look at this. If you're watching this right now, you're saying that's a grocery store, Sports Dad. I don't have time to stop at a grocery store. And I'm going to say, au contraire, that's a Quick Trip. And that is where you want to stop. In fact, put the app on your phone. It's as easy as can be. Again, I told you, when you see this truck, ladies and gentlemen, when you see this truck, it means quality. It means Quick Trip.
I need you to, Dex and I need you to do a Chris Farley at some point with that truck. You're driving through the season and everything's going fine, and then bam!
I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. Not now, damn it.
Speaking of apps, I got the North American Banking Company app on my phone, and you might think, well, that's Phil. Come on, it's a community bank, right? It's a community bank. I mean, how great can the technology be? Very, very good. And it's better than the. So I switched from a, let's just say, large bank that you definitely know of. I won't throw them under the bus. And the North American Banking Company app is levels better than that company's app, and I appreciate that. In addition to getting the friendly, knowledgeable community vibe, the personal relationships you get with North American Banking Company, Minnesota-based since 1998, 6 locations across the Twin Cities. You can find out more at nabankco.com/Mackey, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and they present these Write That Down.
Write this down.
Predictions.
Write that down.
All right, boys, here's how it works. If you are new, the Write That Down season, if you will, runs from Super Bowl to Super Bowl. So we accumulate statistics throughout the year, and then we reset. It's 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They have to be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to be like Ty and be a guest listener predictor, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled. Judd, why don't you step up to the podium here?
All right. Probably not
Why
good.
don't you step up and face the music here?
Probably not good.
Hey.
Not terrible. 3 things came off the board for you. And we're, like we said last week, we're going to start taking some things off the board that, like, technically by the book, you get through the end of the season. But when you say Jonathan Grenard will lead the NFL in sacks, and he has, I think, 2 on the season, and Myles Garrett is hunting for the all-time single-season sack record.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Take that off the board. JJ McCarthy will win Comeback Player of the Year in 2025. Now, could I argue if he balls out in these last 5 games, could he be like coming back within a season Player of the Year?
No, just do it.
You did say that Aaron Jones, for the first time all season, would have 4 or more catches in that game against Seattle, and he did. He had 4 catches.
I think I got
a touchdown for you.
I think I got 3 in the first quarter, and if I'm not mistaken, his last catch was the play he got hurt on, and he didn't return. So I thought early on, this is a slam dunk. He's going to have 6, 7 catches. Yeah. Woo! Just barely got in.
Was he on the field for that Brosmer calamity, the pick 6? Who was the running back?
CJ Ham was going.
Ham bones.
Might have been ham bones, right?
Yeah, I think it was Ham. Yeah, because we were gonna.
The ham
Seattle had no idea what was coming. By the way,
they figured it out though. They definitely figured it out. What's going on? Oh, never mind. All right. Absolute bloodbath for me this
Oh.
week. Really bad. I said Sam. Yeah. I have to do some self-scouting. Put this one on me. Didn't love the play calls. Sam Darnold will do one or the other or both of these things. 300 or more yards or 4 or more touchdowns. The Vikings defense definitely had the book on Darnold, as you might think. I thought that it might be the other way around, but I was wrong. Justin Jefferson will have 80 receiving yards or more against the Sea Chickens. Nope. He hasn't had over 80 receiving yards in almost 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too happy right now. John Wolf, ESPN went with a full segment this morning about, like, even Adam Schefter chiming in on the possibility of a Justin Jefferson trade on Get Up. And Schefter, Schefter's very careful with those types of speculative talkers.
Yep.
And as far as he would go is, it would be really hard to trade him financially, and I wouldn't expect that to happen. But he said, I also wouldn't have expected Micah Parsons to be traded last season. And because it was a post-June 1st trade, they were able to, I believe, split the cap hit on that Micah Parsons trade into 2020.
But Micah Parsons was traded in part because his contract was going to be expiring, and they couldn't work out a deal.
Yep.
Jefferson is, I've looked, I've examined this.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard.
Pain in the ass to try to trade.
It's really hard. Yep.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
John Wolford's next NFL snap will come before Max Brosmer's first NFL game. And in retrospect, maybe they should have listened.
Just going to say, yes.
I said, okay, remember,
this
was a big thing, like right at the beginning of the season, and we had a couple different shows talking about it, that the Vikings and the Ravens essentially play each other like every 4 years. And every single time that those two teams have played each other, going back to like 1998, the Vikings have either, if they beat the Ravens, they go to the NFC Championship game. When they lose to the Ravens, a coach gets fired, like the head coach gets fired. So I said, well, given those two options, Vikings are going to the NFC Championship game. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But could the Ravens trend still kind of be in play? Maybe Kevin doesn't get fired, but like if Kwesi gets fired, it would uphold the trend of when you play the Ravens, you either go to the NFC Championship game or one of your top leaders gets fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy, weird, 30-year circumstance. And then I said, Adam, this is kind of a bad beat. I said this after he initially left the Vikings like 3 years ago, that Adam Thielen will catch another touchdown pass with the Vikings before he retires. And when they brought him back, it was like, oh, this is back on the table.
Got a 2-point conversion, right? And
he had a 2-point conversion. Yeah. I should have said he'll drop 1 in every 3 targets that are thrown his way. But
force his way out.
Go. The listeners had an even worse week. I'll fly through this. So Lindsay from last week had a parlay. Brosmer 200 or more yards, 1 or more touchdowns. It's like none of those things were cooking. Jeff said Vikings are going to win on Christmas Day, which might happen, but he said they'll have won the NFC North by the end of that game, and they'll be undefeated in the division up to that point. Yeah. Janessa said JJ McCarthy will make the Pro Bowl. Billy said the Vikings will win the NFC North, win a playoff game, and play in the NFC title game. Yeah, we're taking stuff out the board here. Aaron said, after every regular season loss, KOC will acknowledge that, quote, I need to do better. Not we, but I need to do better. He's done a couple of those things, but he really has not. He hasn't done the full ownership thing after every game. Unless you disagree with this, Judd.
No, he did it on Monday, but he has not consistently put every loss, because that would be 8 defeats. Like, that's a lot at that point to be like, I probably should be fired.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jeff said McCarthy will finish with a top 5 passer rating among NFC quarterbacks. Camden said Vikings Commanders will be a primetime game, either on the schedule or flexed. Not flexed. And then Danny said the Vikings are going to win this. Danny predicted, he had 3 predictions a couple years ago, that the 2024 Vikings would win the Super Bowl. The 2025 Vikings will win the Super Bowl. But he's still on the board for the 2026 Vikings winning the Super Bowl.
There you go. Fresh
Good
start.
luck to Danny. Dex, two things came off, and we'll highlight one other thing here. You said the Vikings starting quarterback last Sunday would have a passer rating of at least 90. You had the Panthers going over the 6.5 wins.
That's right.
With a month to spare.
Bought that stock early,
dude. And then you said someone on the Vikings will lose their job after the Seahawks game. So it could be like a coach fired, front office, personnel change. And we extended the deadline of this to kick off of the Commanders game.
So
we'll see.
Well, can I bring to the table Adam Thielen? Adam Thielen was waived by the Vikings. He lost his job.
He did ask out though, and
he lost his job.
And they,
if Kwesi asks out, we would give
lost
Declan
his job,
this, right?
He lost his job. He was waived by the Vikings.
It is a personnel change. How far do we take? I mean, how far does this technicality go there? Because they also released Desmond Ritter from the practice.
Yeah, I feel like we need to run this up I feel like this needs to run up the flagpole.
If I were to suggest last Wednesday, which I believe I said roster included, that let's say Adam Thielen would be released, we probably would have scoffed at that in a week.
No, not me.
The semantics
not me.
here.
I would have scoffed.
Well, yeah, Judd, because you love the Thielen family and you'll get their Christmas card. But I personally think with Adam Thielen losing his roster spot.
Yeah, all right. I'm torn on this because on one hand, I feel like the spirit of this, Adam is like removing himself from the equation. He asked to be removed from the equation. He
quit on the team,
and they have granted him that permission to quit. To your point, but the actual verbiage of the prediction is that someone on the Vikings will lose their job after the Seahawks game. I think the spirit of it was like Kwesi or a coach. Yeah. But you didn't specify that. You left it open. So technically, I guess, like, Declan could have been right with Desmond Ritter losing his spot on the practice squad. Like, I didn't realize how kind of low the bar was.
But then I feel like I can
say
this week the Vikings will make a transaction before next week's game.
You could, but we would chide you in the moment for that. I didn't comb through the verbiage of this enough.
Yeah.
So I think Declan's correct on this. I think we have to give Declan a point on this. Otherwise, we compromise the integrity of Write That Down, which you might argue Declan did with this low-hanging verbiage.
I will work this show then under protest.
Okay. Curious what the commenters have to say here, but again, like if we read the prediction as it is, someone on the Vikings will lose their job after the Seahawks game. Desmond Ritter and Adam Thielen both no longer have jobs with the Vikings.
I just feel like this opens up. If we do this, then you could make this prediction every week. But yeah, anyway,
I would encourage for the sanctity and the I don't know what the word is, to uphold the Write That Down spirit that you don't make predictions on purpose. I don't think Declan was making a loophole prediction on purpose.
No, I was not. But
he thought Kwesi was going to get fired, basically, I
thought a coach. I thought like. A coach was mostly
Matt Daniels or something.
Yeah, like that was my first kind of thought process.
Okay, I'm just writing down right now. Vikings will make a transaction before their next game.
AJ came in a few weeks ago and said Ricky Pearsall will have a multi-touchdown game within the first 3 games of returning from injury. He has not had that multi-touchdown game after his first 3 games. So with that, here are the completion percentages. I'm below 40% for the first time all year, so I need to pick it up here. I might have to make some easy check down predictions just to get back on the board. Judd 36.1, Dex 33.7, AJ 31.3, listeners 30.2. Judd and I both have 10 touchdowns. Declan 8, AJ 4, listeners with 7 touchdowns, and then Declan still leading the all-time, going back like 5 years, completion percentage 36.5 category. Listeners and myself with 67 touchdowns apiece. So there we go. Let's get our guy Ty in here. I'm gonna write that down. Ty, what's going on, dude? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. Not as good as I was a couple weeks ago. Whenever I emailed Declan to get on, it was right before the second Bears game. So I was thinking there's a chance, go on a run, like win 2 of the 3 against Bears, Packers, Seahawks. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, maybe I make a prediction, we go 3-0 against the rest of the NFC East, and then we're right in it. But that's all kind of falling apart. So I had to change my predictions the past couple of days.
Wow. He's just been adjusting on the fly here. Yeah, well, give us your background as a Vikings fan. When did you get hooked? How did you get hooked? Tell us your story.
Yeah, so I'm from Oklahoma, Tulsa. Lived there basically my whole life. But two main reasons: my grandparents had a lake house up in Brainerd on Gull Lake, near Grandview
Nice.
Lodge for the majority of my
Oh.
life.
Love
Yeah.
Gull Lake.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's
Oh.
awesome.
Great bars.
So we'd go up there at least, once a summer, basically, yeah, my entire life. So made a lot of memories up there. And then the other main one being Adrian Peterson, being an OU family, for the most part, just watching him, my childhood growing up, always wearing his jersey and stuff like that. So those are two of the kind of main connections. But really, I've been a Vikings fan as long as I can remember.
were you also a Phil Lodeholt fan too?
Oh, yeah. My dad loved Phil Lodeholt, I'll tell you that.
Dude, that guy was Judd. You
Great
and I
draft
both
pick.
covered him as beat writers. One of the largest human beings you'll ever encounter. in
Yeah,
life.
he was he the second round pick in 2009? Percy was
second?
the
Was he?
first
Yeah.
round pick, and he was second round pick. And I think he was plug and play at right tackle from day one.
6'8", listed at 6'8", 345 pounds, which might actually be underselling how large that guy was.
Yeah, he was a massive human.
OU. Didn't they also have, wasn't there another OU guy on those teams? There was
Well,
it's like a backup offensive lineman.
Oh,
They had
Didn't
like
Pearson
an
go to
OU
Oklahoma?
pipeline. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
no,
we're talking about.
Yeah.
he said that. And Lodeholt, I don't. Oh yeah, there was. I forget his name, but yes,
Because
there-
Sid
there
Hartman
was.
like walked up to him in the locker room thinking he was talking to Phil Lodeholt because he looked at the
Yeah.
roster wrong.
That happened a few times.
It's
Aaron,
like 4 questions. He's
DJ
like,
Henderson.
do you think I'm Phil Lodeholt?
I got a
I'm,
question for you.
That's right.
So, Ty, we're going to start with you. You get your first prediction, then we'll go around to Judd, Dex, back to me. We'll make 3 trips around the room. So, if you're ready, let's fire away.
Well, all right. For my first prediction, write this down. At the beginning of next regular season, so we'll just say week 1 of 2026, I'm going for a little 3-leg parlay here. Kevin O'Connell will still be the head coach of the Vikings. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah will not be the general manager. Off the record, I assume it's because he's been fired, but just in case he gets, demoted and is still with him or something, I'll just say he's not going to be the general manager. And third, JJ McCarthy will not be the starting quarterback. Even though I'd want him to be. I hope that, he has a great offseason.
Yeah.
They can get some things figured out. But I think, as you guys have kind of been talking about, just the way KOC wants his offense run, Jefferson not getting the ball, they're going to go with, I think they're going to bring a veteran guy in at least. And then more than likely that veteran will be the starting quarterback week 1.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I think those are all. I mean, if all of those hit, it would be a touchdown, 3-item parlay here. But yeah, it kind of feels like that might be those 3 areas you might be onto something. So, okay, Judd, over to you for your first prediction.
All right. Ryan Grigson won't be with the Vikings by July 1st, 2026. Ryan Grigson won't be with the Vikings. Somebody's got to pay the price here. And
I'm
I think
shocked you haven't made this prediction already, actually.
I did a Control F to look at this for the name Grigson. I couldn't find it, so I'm going to make it now because I agree. I thought I did it before. But, Ryan Grigson by July 1st of 2026 will no longer be employed by the Minnesota Vikings.
I love it. Judd, just playing the hits, baby. Going after his mortal football enemies. I love it.
I'm not a mortal football enemy. I just don't understand why he got the job in the first place.
Yeah. I'm poking it because it's funny. You've been on that scent for like 3 years. And I agree. I actually agree. It's his track record in Indianapolis. I made a note. It's not when we brought this up like a month ago, his draft history with the Colts and then like him helping oversee drafts with the Vikings. I made a note that we need to devote a whole episode to that at some point, but it didn't feel like the time because it was kind of it was like the game after the Lions game, whatever that was, the Ravens game, I want to say. And we're like, yeah, let's wait till the temperature gets cranked up a little higher.
And
That might be an episode in the next 2 weeks.
It's 95 degrees out now. I think we can do it.
Yep, totally. Write this down. Okay, Dex.
I'll make a Justin Jefferson prediction. So he, in the last 4 games, has as high of only 5 receptions. He had 5 receptions in the Bears game. He's been without a 100-yard game since the Browns game 2 months ago. So write this down. Justin Jefferson will have at least 6 catches or go over for 100 yards receiving against the Commanders. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to do something.
It's
Yeah,
time.
it's
Well, got to get him football.
I don't want him
That's
to at
my
this point,
question.
though. I'd rather them just lose games at this point. Here's the other thing that I'm wrestling with.
Lose.
I would like McCarthy to be like, it'd be great if you hit on the quarterback, but it's been 2 years, so
Sure.
they're probably going to bring in a veteran either way. But I just don't know that McCarthy can do anything in the last 5 games to solidify a week 1 starting role at this point, with just how hot the temperature is going to be on the people making decisions.
And by the way,
if there's no path to him being like a QB1 week 1, then you might as well just finish with a handful of wins.
he can show improvement and they can still lose, because improvement, like, define improvement from what we've seen.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like,
There's a huge area for improvement, and you still lose by 10
exactly.
points.
So, like, I got that response on Twitter, which was, McCarthy's development, and I want improvement from McCarthy. I'm like, I do too. You can still lose football games.
Yeah. Okay, write this down.
Write this down.
I actually need Judd to take his headphones off for this.
Oh,
Yes.
hold on.
Respectfully.
I almost,
Respectfully.
I almost made a judgment.
I'm going to mute. Hold on.
Okay. All right. See ya. I trust Judd. He's got the volume down.
Oh,
Okay,
sure.
write this down.
No, I'm not doing anything, Barney.
I'm gonna cover my mouth here like
Yeah, I'm gonna mute
like Pete Mackey. I don't want him reading my lips. Write this down. Judd will make an Adam Thielen related prediction between now and I'll say I'm going to give myself a runway here. Between now and week 1 of the 2026 season, he'll make an Adam Thielen related prediction. I know Thielen's gone from the team, so like it should be over.
Sure.
But Vindictive Judd is going to circle back with some like anti-Ring of Honor thing or like some other Thielen related thing, right?
I personally think it's likely a layup, because he's gonna like definitely get upset about the Ring of Honor thing, or he's gonna like make a prediction about the rest of the 5 games with the Steelers or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
and I want that point.
And you want that point.
I'll say this off the record.
Yeah.
I should have done this maybe on the record. There's a chance it happens still on this episode.
I thought if you make it this episode, it's a touchdown because it's a short. You have 2 cracks.
Well, it's not a touchdown though, because I gave myself a runway. You can come back, Judd. You can come back.
Okay.
I gave myself a runway.
All right, just in time.
It could happen at any time though.
Barney's very upset at you. Barney's very upset. He saw Pop take off his headphones, and now he started barking because he's like, "You're done, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm not done."
Oh, he thought, yeah.
This guy is just rambling on, and I have no idea what he's saying.
Sorry.
Barney, I'm sorry. It's okay.
Back to Ty for your second prediction.
All right, write this down. Even though the NFC North is once again going to have multiple teams in the playoffs, I think at least 2 at this point, maybe. I think there's still a good chance that they could get all 3. But once again, just like last season, NFC North teams will combine for a total of 0 playoff wins.
Oh, wow, dude. Wow, the Bears kind of feel like that team. Like, awesome job, you're back relevant, you made the playoffs by winning a bunch of games in the last 2 minutes, and now welcome to the Rams or something like that. Or the Seahawks. Okay.
Write this down.
Judd.
Aaron Jones, Ryan Kelly, Javon Hargrave, all not back with the Vikings next season. Aaron Jones, Ryan Kelly, Javon Hargrave won't be back with the Vikings next season.
Okay. I think Javon Hargrave is 3rd on the team in pressures. Javon Hargrave has not been nearly as bad as people.
No, but
portray
the problem is contractually, it's easier to let him go than Jonathan Allen go.
It is. That is a fact. Okay.
Write this down.
Declan.
Write this down. There will be a credible report linking Joe Burrow to the Vikings or Joe Burrow wanting to play for the Vikings between now and the start of next season.
Wow.
Write it down.
So you sent us on the group text thread. Cowherd and Middlecoff went down that path.
It was mostly the Mac Jones path because they were talking about McCarthy being a disaster and what are they going to do. And he was at the end, Colin went into a thing about how, well, number one, like, yeah, Mac Jones is the easier one to get, but at the end of the day, like, the Vikings they like stability. They've swung big for Kirk Cousins before. They got Brett Favre, so like they're not afraid to go big game hunting. But he did preface it as like Joe Burrow would have to ask out. Mm-hmm. So like it's not even the fact of they could check in on Patrick Mahomes if they wanted to, right? But like they need they would need likely Burrow to ask out. And then he went on a big thing because Carson Palmer at the Bengals obviously asked out. And I remember like Carson Palmer, and I know Carson Palmer was a USC guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to college at USC. He said that Carson Palmer and Joe Burrow were like two of the best college talents of all time, which and Carson Palmer was a number 1 overall pick. So was Burrow.
He was a stud.
Yeah. So he mentioned both, like it'd be deja vu again for the Bengals to potentially lose a generational talent to a trade request.
I'm gonna throw my next predict. I thought you were sniping mine, and you kind of did. You were more specific than me. I'll throw this out, and then we can have a little conversation about yours and mine here. Write this down. It's one of those you'll know it when you see it kind of things. Like there will be a credible report between now and May 1st, linking the Vikings to a quarterback who currently makes at least $30 million average annual value right now, on December 3rd of 2025. So, like, Daniel Jones would not count because he doesn't make that yet.
Right.
But Joe Burrow would count. Kyler Murray would count. Tua Tagovailoa would count. There's a bunch of other names. I mean, technically Kirk Cousins, I guess, would count because he makes $45 million right now. That might be my low-hanging fruit bailout option. But I would be shocked if the Bengals. I'd be shocked if Burrow asked out. He doesn't seem like that type of dude. I would also be shocked if the Bengals ever entertain that. I mean, if you lose him, what's the point of even existing as a if you're that franchise?
And then
what's
Jamar
the point?
Chase wants out.
Yeah, then
Like that's the problem.
100%.
It's a domino effect.
Those
Guys only stuck around because of Burrow. So yeah, and plus here's the weird thing: the Bengals might change coaches. But when the Bengals have, I mean, I guess it's not weird, but when the Bengals have Joe Burrow, they're extremely competitive.
Correct. They just beat the hell out of the Ravens last week.
I mean, I'm sorry, but you put Jake Browning in Joe Burrow's car, and he's going to go off the cliff.
Yeah.
And then it blows up.
But there's a bunch of other dudes. I just pulled up the quarterback AAV list. I mean, I'm not high on Kyler Murray. I don't know that I would love a Tua at. I don't know what his number would be for the Vikings.
No,
I don't think it'd be 53.
That contract is awful.
I have no interest in Tua.
But if
They
you are,
either.
but here's the thing: if this organization says we're not out on McCarthy like roster wise, to your point, but we're out on him as QB1 and we need an upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay, well you could trade for Mac Jones, and that's the obvious one. But I could also see them looking for someone who's. How could you buy low on a guy that used to be a top 5 overall pick, kind of a thing, like they did with Sam Darnold? I think they're going to explore a lot of options. So that's my prediction.
The Tua contract would just scare me off. And plus, if you trade for a southpaw quarterback, you're paying your left tackle to protect his blind side. Now you're paying your left tackle not to protect his blind side. I mean, this is just ball knower stuff right here. Like in-depth ball knower stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I do think there is no question. The only thing that I would argue with Coward about is I don't think the Vikings do like quarterback stability because, aside from Cousins, they haven't had it for the most part.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay, back to Ty for your third and final prediction, Ty.
I'm sad that I'm already making a draft prediction. I wish I wasn't at this time, but it's like the only thing over the past few years I've fallen in love with. The draft and free agency and all that. So this is kind of banking on the fact that hopefully Kwesi is no longer the GM in drafting because I can't stand his drafts. But write this down for the 2026 draft. Of however many draft picks the Vikings end up making, at least half of the picks will be on the active roster at the beginning of the 2028 season. So to give it 2 years of it to settle in and stuff. And at least half the draft class will still be on the active roster. So
okay. Love the long view.
That's a
prediction.
Yeah, that'd be a huge positive.
Let's go. Let's get some. Now, if they're all on special teams, it still counts.
Yeah.
It still counts to Ty.
They're all on special.
Yeah, draft more gunners to go alongside that one.
Yeah, third round gunners is us.
Bunch of Jay Wards out there roaming around. So Ty, since you got this life-altering platform, is there anyone in your life or at OU that you would like to shout out and say hi to?
Yeah, give a shout out to my parents, my mom just for being the best mom I could ask for, my dad for being the reason I love football as much as I do. He coached me in middle school and high school, so had made a lot of good memories with him there. And then there's nobody else I'd rather watch football with, talk football with than him. And then my 3 older brothers, Will, Blake, and Cole, just for always being there for me whenever I need them, talk about sports, movies, video games, whatever it may be. And then shout out to you guys. I've been listening since about around 2022, maybe a little before that. And I obviously love all the in-season content, but it's really the off-season content that I think me and a lot of other listeners love so much because it's the off-season. So there's nothing going on, but the fact that I can rely on something every single day to give me my daily fix of Minnesota Vikings whenever, there's nothing else to talk about. I really appreciate it. And you guys are, I think, definitely my number one. You'd listen to videos on YouTube and everything. So I just appreciate you guys. And thanks for having me on.
Ty, thank you for the kind words, man.
Ty.
Also, shout out to your family. Sounds like a fun group, and hopefully we can do this again sometime, man.
For sure. Love it.
All right, Ty. Good luck with your predictions. Yeah, off season starts early on this show, baby. We were hoping for a little more relevance here, but I was hitting up Dex on our little Teams chat yesterday about I'm literally trying to map out the January schedule of all right, we got the Blueprint episodes probably starting on Mondays or Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. Before we get to our final predictions and a wild hot take, or is it a spoiler, from O-Line Committee yesterday here. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helping to power these predictions today.
Yeah, go to standardheating.com right now. All right, we got some snow on the ground. Woke up some more snow this morning. If your HVAC system's been a little bit on the fritz, or heaven forbid, it's not even working entirely, Standard Heating can help you out, okay? So also, it's the 12 days of Shackmas, I believe is what it's, Shackmas?
Yeah.
Around the Minneapolis, around the North Loop area. You can find these little glitter ducks. I'm not exaggerating. They're hiding around North Loop businesses. If you find one, you can win prizes. You can win things from our friends at Standard Heating. So if you find a weird glitter duck, that wasn't a coincidence. Go tell Standard Heating that. StandardHeating.com to join their smart club, and also to make sure that your HVAC system is working efficiently for the winter season.
Vector Windows also. If you've got drafty windows, you might want to call these guys.
Yep, and guess what, folks? It is cold outside, and we know how to handle these conditions, and so do our friends at Vector Windows and Doors. Vector, what they do, their products are engineered to stand up to the elements that we're seeing right now. They keep your home comfortable and efficient, locally made and built to perform season after season. Their vinyl windows and patio doors are reliable, energy efficient, and backed by great support. Vector is a proud example of local craftsmanship and commitment. So go with the home team. Go with Vector. Find your local Vector dealer at vectorwindows.com/dealer. That's Vector, VECTOR, windows.com/dealer.
I got the Prize Picks app open right now, and the JJ McCarthy passing yards number is down to 190.5. I think it was 194.5 yesterday. So if you think he's going to go more than 190.5, you can press more on the Prize Picks app. If you think it's less, you can hit less. You do those things, more or less, between 2 and 6 players on various statistics, and that's how you set your Prize Picks roster or the like to win real money this football season. Super easy. All the withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. You download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code PURPLEDAILY, and you can help the show when you do that. You also get $50 in lineups when you play just $5. That's code PURPLEDAILY on Prize Picks to get $50 in lineups when you play $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right.
Write this down.
Judd, final prediction.
All right, my final write that down prediction is this. It's another Vikings forecasting who won't be back. Ivan Pace will not be back next season.
Oh.
Played 6 defensive snaps against the Seahawks. Eric Wilson has stepped in and flat out just proven he's better. And if I'm not mistaken, Ivan Pace in the last year of the contract he signed as a UDFA. It's a great run. He was a very nice find, but we'll see you later. He will not be back next season.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Dex?
Write this down.
All right, write this down. So the Vikings have been brutal on third downs this season. And in fact, I don't believe that they have had at least 5 third down conversions since maybe the Lions game. Only 2 or 3 at most in the last 3 or 4 games. So write this down. The Vikings will combine for at least 5 third and fourth down conversions against the Commanders. So at least 5 of them. third
Okay.
and fourth downs in that group too. So I think they'll actually be able to maybe move the chains and continue their drives a little bit more. So at least 5 third or fourth down conversions.
One of the worst teams in the
Write
league
this down.
at those things. Now I'll give you this one. JJ McCarthy. I have faith that he will, write this down, not throw an interception for the first time in his career.
Wow, you guys are really, really, I mean,
This is a low bar.
optimistic.
5 third down conversions and no interceptions is
I
not
do
that
not
much
have
to ask
any-
for in an NFL football game.
Count me as not believing.
Can you convert a third down like once every 45 minutes of real time and not throw an interception? That would be great, Vikings.
I mean,
Thank
the
you.
Commanders are bad, but so are the Vikings.
Write this down.
So this is where we early December here. This is where we're at. Just don't throw an interception and please
Right.
convert a first down.
Right.
All right. Do you guys want this hot take?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So hot take Tuesday on O-line committee can get kind of spicy. Usually I throw out hot takes that I either believe to be true or I'll ask them, do you think this is a hot take? And it's kind of what we do on Mondays, but like in a modified form
Sure.
on O-line committee. And my initial hot take to those guys was, I think the Giants should trade for Mike Tomlin because the Giants are looking for a coach. It feels like the Pittsburgh fans have been out on Tomlin for a while. They're chanting "Fire Tomlin." You know, he's been there for almost 20 years. They're just kind of bored with him, and they haven't won a playoff game in a long time. But like the dude he's going to get a job. There'd be a demand for Mike Tomlin. And my logic was, well, the Giants haven't had a top 10 defense in like a decade and a half. They need a leader to come in there. It's a big city, and Mike Tomlin feels like he could handle all of it, right? And then I said, my dark horse, if we had a list of teams that, if Mike Tomlin was fired by the Steelers and he was available, I said it would be the first time Mike Tomlin was available since the Wilfs saw him walk out the door their second year as owners. He was this stud, 34-year-old defensive coordinator under Brad Childress. He nails the interview with the Steelers. And there's just been a lot, not much recently, but like for a long time, there was this sense I felt like for sure among fans, but even like in the organization that, man, there was no way that we could have fired Childress after 1 year and kept Tomlin, but man, it would have been nice to have Mike Tomlin, right? Like he's kind of the one that got away. And Jeremiah popped up and said, well, let me offer this. Who says no? If the Vikings called the Steelers or vice versa and said, let's do a coach swap. Vikings get Mike Tomlin. Steelers get Kevin O'Connell. The offensive starved Steelers get Kevin O'Connell. And hell, Aaron Rodgers could just stick around for another year and they could work together and maybe draft a quarterback in 2027. Who says no? If that conversation takes place, Steelers or Vikings?
Vikings.
Wow.
That was a quick answer.
Vikings.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, what is your? I mean, so Brian Flores still be the DC too, or are you under the?
If Tomlin
doesn't matter.
I guess my
He
guess
worked
is
for Tomlin.
Flores would probably stick around because he did. Yeah, his like rebound
Linebackers
year
coach.
after the Miami thing. You probably would have a Tomlin coach, Flores defensive coordinator, and then they'd have to find someone to run the offense, and they'd have to figure out who's playing quarterback. I get like those are challenges, but those are challenges for Kevin O'Connell and company right now.
But Tomlin hasn't solved that either in the last 5 years. I mean,
No.
their offense had been horrible.
Boy, I think I agree with Declan. I think the Vikings would say no at this point. Now, back up a few
I think the
years.
Steelers would say yes. The Steelers would make
Yeah,
that swap
I think
because
so,
let's
yeah.
get an offensive-minded guy in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Who would you
Absolutely.
guys rather have for the next 5 years as head coach of the Minnesota Vikings? Kevin O'Connell or Mike Tomlin?
Mike, I guess here's what I'd like to know. What would a fresh start do for Mike? Like, it does seem pretty stale, and he's done a hell of a job, but it does seem like this season especially feels pretty stale there. He's always around. It's funny because you know what he's sort of become, and he got him to a Super Bowl, so he gets credit.
2 Super Bowls.
Or two, yeah. He gets full credit for that. But he sort of become the ultimate Vikings employee, right? Like, he gets to the playoffs all the time. Like, more so than the Vikings do. But it also feels like they lose out pretty quickly.
But earlier in his
I love
tenure,
the talker.
Earlier in his tenure, when he
really
inherited like a fourth-year Ben Roethlisberger,
Yep, no
kind of a
question.
ready-made Roethlisberger. So when he's had that ready-made guy, the Steelers for a while actually had better offenses than defenses, which is maybe an indictment on Tomlin's defensive mind. But I think what you'd have to do is you'd have to determine that Mike Tomlin, never under his watch, even in the train wreck Steelers seasons, have they dipped below 500, and they're riding that line again this year. They're 6-6.
Right.
So and they got the Ravens coming up, so it's going to be tough.
And Thielen coming so who knows?
And Thielen might elevate the other way or shipwreck them even more. Who knows?
Yes.
But I believe that Mike Tomlin, especially with a fresh start, is still one of the best leaders in the NFL and will instantly get a job if he becomes available, unless he wants to sit out and do TV for a year. And the Wilfs back in 2006 saw him in the building on a regular basis, and I think they've had an affinity for him. And there was that weird Kevin O'Connell rumor like a year ago that other teams, Jay Glazer said, have been trying to trade for O'Connell. The only place that comes from is O'Connell's camp, right? And it just feels like there's some weird strife behind the scenes now. Yep. Feels like there's fingers being pointed. Again, this is just a little fun, reckless speculation among friends. And what you'd have to do is if this hypothetical did play out, you'd have to find. I think you would hope that like Mike McDaniel gets fired by the Dolphins so that you would say, all right, Mike McDaniel, you run the offense as the offensive coordinator, trade for Mac Jones, who knows that type of system, that sort of Shanahan, McDaniel type system. You guys do your thing with a veteran quarterback, develop JJ McCarthy as the backup, and you ride with a different voice and a different leader. Again, this is a wild hot take Tuesday thing that came from O-line committee, but I thought it was fascinating.
I don't get the sense yet that the Vikings are out on O'Connell. Like I think there's frustration and there are weird vibes. But I mean, if they, unfortunately, I think the reality is they're going to go get a veteran quarterback, and I wouldn't be surprised if they rebound just fine. The problem is their draft picks. Like this is where the Kwesi, I mean, it's funny, the quarterback stench sort of covers up everything else that's been brewing. But your reality is, and we joked about it, it's not funny. You've got a third round wide receiver who's a gunner. Like that's a problem. Yeah. Like that's a real problem.
And on top of it, your passing game is a disaster, not because of your receivers necessarily. And you've got that third round pick who's got some athletic ability that you don't even trust to like try something with at this point in the season. Yeah.
Correct. And you didn't even like the thing about the Thielen trade doesn't get made if Ty Felton shows them anything in training camp, right? Because Naylor, you think he might be out for a more extended period of time than he was out, but you're like, okay, we'll plug Ty Felton in. I mean, it's wide receiver 3. It's not exactly brain surgery. And they didn't feel comfortable using him, period. Yeah. And it's supposedly because Keenan McCardell in the draft room pushed for him, but it's like, you got to have, like, it's fine for an assistant coach
to collaboration
to push for a player, but somebody has to say, hey, what's the, this is a third round pick. This is a big time pick, not a 5th round throwaway.
And I believe 6 straight playoff losses for the Steelers. They have lost their last 6 consecutive playoff games.
They haven't won one since 2016. It's been almost 10 years.
Would you rather trade?
Well, how many years has it been since Kevin O'Connell won a playoff game?
Mm-hmm. Since we're going down this road, it's completely reckless. Would you rather trade for Mike Tomlin, like a straight swap there, coach for coach, or would you prefer to try to trade O'Connell to the Giants for a high draft pick?
Let me pull up the Giants picks.
Well, I mean, their first round pick should be gold, which would probably be.
So they'd be like a top 5. Would they trade a top 5?
I don't know. They would. That's the problem.
Who's overseing a disaster at quarterback right now?
But would you rather get a high draft pick for O'Connell if you were to trade him, or Mike Tomlin?
I want to drill down on your premise there. And again, I've been the number 1 Kevin O'Connell guy in America for the last 3.5 years, and I'm not saying he should be fired by any means. But since we're speculating among friends, the notion that after this season, like the premise here is the Giants need an offensive boost and someone that can oversee the development of Jackson Dart and make a young quarterback come to life. Well, Kevin O'Connell's stock in that area has tanked this season.
Yep, true.
I'm not saying he can never do it. Maybe they picked the wrong horse. Maybe we're just not being patient enough. Like maybe we're judging off too small of a sample size. All of those things are possibilities. Mm-hmm. But and I'm not saying you are directly suggesting this, but to say that he's worth a high draft pick in the realm of he can develop a young quarterback and bring him to life is misguided.
Okay, if you shopped him around the league to a team that had an established QB and was trying to find a coach.
So you'd be trading Kevin O'Connell for an established quarterback. I mean, I think it'd be for draft picks, right?
No. I'm saying you would be trading O'Connell to a team with an established
Bengals.
Joe
Burrow.
Well, the Bengals would be going from one offensive guy from the Sean McVay tree to.
But
they go from one passing extremist to another one here, and they'd just be looking for a new voice, I guess.
But I think with Joe Burrow, I think O'Connell could be far more dangerous with Joe Burrow than Zach Taylor's been.
I mean, any coach in America would be far more dangerous than Zach Taylor. Yeah,
than Zach Taylor's been. I think it would be a coaching upgrade for them.
I think it probably would be, but dude, Zach Taylor went to the Super Bowl with Joe Burrow.
I know, but imagine what O'Connell could do. He might win a playoff game. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there since we're recklessly speculating about what you would want back. You know what you would want back, what you might get back. I do not think O'Connell gets fired. I don't think he gets traded. Yeah. I think there are changes, but I think they're from different places. I think the O'Connell act. I think if there's ever to be a serious discussion, it's if they don't perform next season. The Vikings.
Yeah, it starts to percolate. Mid-season, it starts to percolate.
Correct, and then
it becomes inevitable. Yeah, for sure. So, just a little.
I love the trade.
Speculation among fans.
I am all in on coaches' trades, or coaches being traded. Like I am all in.
It's very rare that you get the coach trade. You know,
that's why I love to talk about it.
Let's do our quarterback cesspool challenge here momentarily. But Judd, do you have any good gift ideas? Any good holiday season gift ideas for people?
I certainly do, and it's our newest friends at Aura Frames, which is the perfect holiday gift. I mean, look at that right there, wrapped in a beautiful package, and you're saying, okay, what type of frame? You're looking at that, but you know what here? Sports Dad's going to pat himself on the back because Sports Dad got his Aura frame last week, and a couple of nights ago, let's just say he set it up himself, was sending himself pictures. Wow. I mean, this is a guy.
Just pictures of Judd.
This is a guy, technology
his
challenge. Are you kidding me? Do you remember this, you boys?
I was sitting next to you.
This is from the Twins. Yeah. This is from the Twins Blue Jay series, Memories. Aura is all about a great frame, a fantastic gift, and for a limited time, save on this gift by going to auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using the promo code PD at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code PD. The deal is exclusive, by the way, to our audience, and frames sell out fast. So get yours now in time for the holidays and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. The terms are this. Sports Dad actually set something up. It was that simple. If I can do it, so can you.
You should get like 10 of those and just put them all around the house with just pictures of you and noteworthy sporting events.
I got this one. I got that one. Look at this. I'm scrolling through.
And then every time she changes the photos, you can change them right back to like Target Field and the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Dawn and I, yeah. How about
you should put a photo of Park Dental in there too. That's. I'm gonna get 10 of those Aura frames and just put Park Dental photos in for all of them because that's my dentist now. I've had a great experience the last couple of years. After being dentistless, my old dentist retired. He didn't even consult me. He's like, I'm just been doing this for like 45 years and I'm done. Like, well, my teeth need to be cleaned, guy. And so people sources close to the situation said Park Dental is the place to go. They've been caring for and cleaning teeth in Minnesota and Western Wisconsin for over 50 years. And you can schedule your checkup at parkdental.com. There's likely a location conveniently placed just minutes from wherever you live or work. Parkdental.com. All right.
Everybody hold your water.
Here's how the quarterback cesspool challenge works. We look to identify and celebrate bad quarterback play in the NFL every single week. Each member of the show selects a quarterback. We do a little 3-person draft. We select quarterbacks we think are going to play like crap. Once you use that quarterback, you can't use that quarterback the rest of the season. So it's like almost like a survivor pool kind of a vibe. We all have to draft different quarterbacks each week. So we can't all take Tua Tagovailoa or whatever. And the scoring is ESPN's QBR, a 0 to 100 scale. And oh boy, did we have some results last week here. I went with my guy. I hedged my guy, Max Brosmer, who had the lowest QBR in the NFL, 5.6 last week. Dex hopped on the Shedeur Sanders train successfully, a 16.1 QBR.
Oh, boy.
And Judd had no faith in Bryce Young going up against that vaunted Rams team. And
Yeah, what happened?
he made dagger throw after dagger throw.
Yeah.
85.7 QBR for
What
Bryce
a
Young.
day for
Judd.
Bryce Young. Boy, picked a heck of a day to be
Is that
good.
the I had that Russell Wilson one that was bad. Is that the highest QBR one of us has selected on the season?
85.7. Let's pull the whole
getting
season up here.
close.
I had Mac Jones at 88 and Jackson Dart at 90. It looks like it's the third highest.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's still
Mac,
high.
yeah, Mac. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
thanks a
God.
lot, Rams. Thanks a lot, Matthew Stafford, who had like a 28 QBR. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford maybe focus less on your white teeth and more on your field vision. So on the season, I have 8 wins, 34.9 average QBR, leading those categories. Yeah, Judd, you were leading the season-long
Yeah.
average QBR like 3 weeks ago, and you've kind of plummeted here. You have 3 weekly
it's
wins
not
on the
good.
season.
Yep.
Dex with 2 weekly wins, and closing in on Judd for second place, a 45.1 average QBR. So we'll go in
Yep.
reverse order of last week's standing. So Judd gets the first pick, Declan goes second, and I'll go third. And then for the YouTube audience, here's a full list of all the quarterbacks we've taken so far this year.
All right. With the first pick, I will proudly select Tyler Shuck of the Saints going against the Tampa Bay Bucks in Tampa. Tyler Shuck, get me back on track.
Yeah, that's
I got burned when I picked him.
You did. He's 72.3.
Which, like,
Yeah.
with and I remember looking at that. This is where, like, QBR, I'm like, how the hell? It was like
Yep.
the most pedestrian game I've
Yep.
ever seen, and it was one of the highest QBRs that week. I don't understand it. I don't know.
I got a weird one
Them's the
too.
breaks.
I got a weird one too like that this season. Not happy about it. But anyway, he was terrible last week against the Dolphins. He's going back to Florida. I just hope he sucks again.
That's the drama. The drama of the quarterback cesspool challenge. All right, Declan's on the clock here.
Okay, great options this week. But I'm gonna take. I haven't used him yet, and the last time he played Denver, he had a QBR of like 14 in an absolute slugfest of a game that finished 10-7. Give me Geno Smith against
Oh.
Denver. Give me Geno Smith. I haven't used Geno
Great
yet.
pick.
Shocked
Yeah.
by this. He's having an awful year. Hey, by the way,
I can't use him. Yeah.
in terms of veteran QBs to maybe go trade for, Geno might be actually entering that chat. He's making $26 million next season. He's 35, 36 years old.
Can't
I'm not
do
in
it.
on the chat.
I'm not in on it either. But if Kevin O'Connell likes a guy that's been in the league for a while and is established, and that's not completely impossible to go get in a trade,
feel
Geno fits those things.
It is. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't disagree with your premise. I would personally.
I don't
not.
want it, but it does fit.
I
the
mean, he
things
won't be
KOC
back
likes.
there. I think Pete Carroll's probably not back there. I think they're going to have another Raiders overhaul.
The Raiders.
All right,
All right. So I've got
you got a lot of picks here, man.
Yeah, you got
because I have not
Well, I
used
think.
Shedeur Sanders. I'm the only one that hasn't
Oh.
used Shedeur Sanders yet.
Uh-oh.
But he's
Come on
playing the
down.
Titans at home.
Oh boy, yeah.
But then again, if he plays poorly, does he not play again? I'm sort of risking not being able to use him. I have not used JJ McCarthy yet. I don't think Dex has either. But there's going to be other opportunities to use JJ McCarthy against like the Packers or something. Commanders have a pretty weak defense. And then there's old Kirk Cousins against
Kirky's
the
on there.
Seahawks defense we saw last week.
Yep, good pick.
So I'm
him.
gonna take a flyer here because I can use, provided he starts more games, I can use JJ McCarthy and Shedeur Sanders at any point. It's possible Kirk Cousins just gets broken in half at some. So I'm taking Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins against the Seattle Seahawks.
All
Yeah,
right.
Kirk was on my board. Jaden Daniels might play against the Vikings. We'll see. But Mariota, even I know he actually played pretty admirably on Monday
I've
night.
used him.
But
He screwed me.
yeah, great option.
82.8 in week 10 right
Dude,
there.
Mariota screwed me too. 61.4.
Well, yeah.
Be
I
careful.
haven't used him yet.
But
That's
I
why.
got
out there.
But I mean,
You know what? Maybe
82
you're right.
against
You guys,
me.
each time you picked him, you posted very nice QBRs. Maybe I'll stay away.
He might be aware of the show.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Is your quarterback cesspool challenge? Little reckless speculation sandwiched between the predictions. Don't forget Thor Talks Purple out of the gate firing. You can find that new podcast wherever you find podcasts: Apple, Spotify. Thor Talks Purple, and also on the Score North YouTube channel. Judd, you joined yesterday. Today, I believe it's a War Room Wednesday on Thor Talks Purple, where he takes kind of a front office view of the Minnesota Vikings. And then, Flagrant Howls, Judd's Hockey Show, the Score North Twin Show. Tomorrow, we're going to do another episode with a lot of juicy updates. Byron Buxton may have waived his no-trade clause behind the scenes. And plenty of other Bar Down Beauties are part of the Score North network now. You can find all of our podcasts, scorenorth.com, and anywhere you find podcasts. We'll see you guys actually later today, a Jeremiah Sirles crossover O-line committee episode. Let's go.